YouTube!
Welcome to the Daily Fantasy Perspective with my good friends Andrew and BJ. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Ready to get started.
Wait, I can't tell. Is that BJ or who is that?
Yeah, man. Mitch tied me up, put me down in the basement. Had to break free and finally got him out of the house. So I'm back this week.
I hope did Mitch pick your lineups?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to let you know I have a special guest picking my lineups today. So
Oh, no.
I might be tied up in the basement if I had one, to be honest with you.
Uh-oh.
But welcome to the show. Can you guys see my screen okay? Everything looking good on your guys' end?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
If you guys didn't know, this is our DFS weekly show. If this is your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button, like the video, ask some questions underneath. I know if they're anything like me, they check the comments, see if anyone commented. We will answer your questions kind of as a triple answer. But yeah, let's get into this video. A little bit different than usually what we do. I think the first thing we'll do, because we allude to this a lot through our DFS show, is I just want to talk about the over-unders in each game. We're just going to quickly go through those because that does, weigh on our minds when we're picking these lineups. Jacksonville, Cincinnati, 46. That game's tonight. Really doesn't pertain to Sunday. New York Giants, New Orleans Saints, 42. Kansas City, Philadelphia, 54.5. That's looking juicy, ladies and gentlemen.
Love that game.
Houston, Buffalo, 47 with potential thunderstorms. Watch out for that weather. Carolina, Dallas, 52. Cleveland, Minnesota, 52. Indianapolis, Miami, 42.5. Tennessee, New York Jets, 44.5. Detroit, Chicago, 42. Washington, Atlanta, 48. Arizona, LA, 54.5. That's looking juicy too, my friends. Seattle, San Francisco, 52. Pittsburgh, Green Bay, 45.5. Baltimore, Denver, 44.5. And the night game, Tampa, New England, 49. All right, boys. All right, let's kick this off. How did we do last week? BJ, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, man. I didn't probably the worst week out of the bunch, but I mean, I still cashed like 107. So about a little over half my money I still cashed, but it is what it is. You have weeks like that.
Okay. Andrew, how about you?
Did absolutely horrible this week. Was in for a little over 100 and won around $30-some. Can't figure out why everybody lost money this week. I don't know if everybody had the same lineups or was thinking the same thing or what, but couldn't cash.
Weird.
Bro, I'm with you. This is where the guest appearance comes our way. I'm no longer Lucas Pauly, ladies and gentlemen. I am $8 Earl. Call me $8 Earl. We had $1 million Mitch last week. I'm $8 Earl. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? I put $95 in this damn thing and walked out with $8. I don't know either. You look at the max players, like the best performing players, and I had every single player on that list somehow, and I didn't cash. After the 1 p.m. games, I was literally sitting at like $77 out of my $95 entry fees, and I was like, man, this is gonna be a great week. I have so many players in this 4 p.m. 4:30 games. Then I look at the end, and I'm not winning anything. I'm like, what just happened? But yeah, I'm with you guys. What's the possibilities that this could be?
Slim
I'm not sure, man. It makes no. Sometimes it's like that. It's like I think a big thing was with us. I don't know how many lineups you guys didn't have of Najee. Him getting that many catches was completely unpredictable. Like that was the craziest thing I've ever seen a running back, dude. Ben just kept throwing it to him, checking down and throwing it to him, man. I mean, I think they lined him up in the slot and everything that game, man. They just threw him out there.
Yeah, but targets.
It's even crazier because I had the winning line. I was really big on DK and Justin Jefferson. Played them in like over half, cash on all those. But I mean, I think those two were in the winning lineup at the end of it. But still, even with that, I still didn't even profit. So
Andrew,
Emmanuel Sanders killed everybody.
Yeah, I was super high on AJ Brown, and he got hurt in the first quarter. I had him probably in 25% of the lineup, so that hurt a little bit. But still, I was winning $77 with him already done playing. So
I had AJ Brown as the touchdown of the week, and he got hurt.
So let's go ahead and get into our touchdown of the week. Earl's ready to go. Last week, I think I went 1 for 2. I had Kenny Golladay and Javonte Williams finally found the end zone. Should have got in there twice, but that put me to 3 for 6 on the season. Andy, who did you pick?
I had Austin Eckler, who scored a touchdown, and A.J. Brown, who got hurt in the first quarter.
And that puts you for 5 for 6 on the year. Mr. BJ?
I had DK Metcalf. He came out within the first 2 minutes of the game and scored 1, but then I had Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, man, but they are not running their offense right.
They're not running through the running back at all, which is super, super weird. And I think that puts you 2 for 6 on the year. Is that right?
I think it's a little more than that, but I think I'm 3.
No, but I'm still not giving you that first week. Anyway, we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We are to this week's games. If you guys had a chance to really break this down yet?
Yes.
Yes, BJ?
I mean, yeah, I went through a little bit. I put one line up in just looking at it.
Yep, it's I know I said last week that the value's getting better or worse and worse, but I did find some players that I really like this week. So let's go ahead and start with the QBs. Give me your QB play of the week, Andy.
QB play of the week is Josh Allen for 8,500. If you look at the team total there, they are implied to score around 31 points, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 31 points. Buffalo does not put on the brakes when they have the lead, so they're not known to do that. They're just going to keep throwing touchdowns. Maybe Josh Allen runs a couple in. I think he's almost a lock versus the Texans. They're just going to destroy him.
So you kind of answered my question before I even got to ask it. With a game where someone's supposed to blow out the other team, does that make you scared at all that they'll kind of pump the brakes a second?
I do not think so. Mm-hmm. Not Buffalo.
Yeah.
Some teams do get conservative, but they just have a history of scoring as many points as they can.
I like that. We'll dig into some more quarterbacks in a second, but BJ, who's your lock of the week in the quarterback position?
Yeah, man. Andy, it's hard to beat Josh Allen, but I'm really looking at 2 quarterbacks that I'm going to put in the lot. It's going to be Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford, man. I was going to say this last week. When it comes to quarterbacks, they score the most in tight games. And I think this is going to be a back-and-forth game. So I think you're going to, I think Kyler Murray is going to be one of my big plays. It looked like he dropped in price, too, a little bit here. So 8,200 for Kyler Murray. I mean, these prices are still going to go up throughout the season, but like I was wanting to say last week, with the quarterback situation, you're definitely going to need a quarterback, a quarterback's in that's, it's going back and forth and it's actual real battle or struggle, So I think I'm going to roll with those 2 guys. I'm probably going to roll more Kyler Murray than Stafford, though.
Great pick. And my quarterback pick of the week, sitting down here at 7,700 versus San Francisco, I love Russell Wilson this week. Reason being, I think the San Francisco 49ers are very good against the run, but my gosh, do they give up some passes. Their whole starting secondary is out of the game. So I can anticipate, I seriously may predict that Russell Wilson has about 40 pass attempts this game. I think that's going to be their game plan, to attack him down the field. I know I'm kind of playing coach here, but they're not going to be able to run the ball against Fred Warner and that defense and that front 7, which is going to give Russell Wilson the ability to pass the ball, short passes, deep passes. The secondary is just too suspect for the San Francisco 49ers right now, and I expect Russell Wilson to be up there in the top 3 QB plays of the day.
Yeah, it's a division game. I kind of agree with you on that.
Yeah, I do too. I can agree with that big time. I mean, Russ, we seen him last week kind of crap the bed, but I think, like we said at the beginning of the season, Russell Wilson, the beginning of the half of the season, he's just a freaking MVP.
Yep, and their whole offense sucked last week, and they usually do well off of a bad game. That's a good thing about Pete Carroll. He does get them ready. Andy, I know that you gave us your plays of the week. Anybody else that you might be putting in some lineups?
For sure. Dak Prescott, 7,800. That's going to be a competitive game. I look for Dak Prescott just to continue that high potent offense. I mean, they throw the ball a ton. They score some points. That's just a little bit too cheap for Dak, in my opinion. I know Carolina's pretty good defensively, but you just can't. It's hard for teams to stop the Cowboys, in my
I
opinion.
agree with that. Well,
I like Aaron Rodgers for 7,600 as well, right below him. We just seen what Cincinnati did to Pittsburgh. And Aaron Rodgers is a way better quarterback, so I think they'll carve him up pretty good and score some points.
I agree with you there. What about you, BJ? Give me another quarterback that you're going to throw into some lineups.
I mean, sitting there, Jalen Hurts, man, that Kansas City, until they prove that they can stop the run, then I'm down on them this year, man. I really am. They cannot stop the run, and Jalen Hurts is probably like top two. Him and Kyler Murray are probably the best running quarterbacks in the league, man, with their legs, man. So Jalen Hurts is a real big one I'm going to throw in a lot this week. Going down here, I know this is a crazy play, but Heineke.
That was going to be mine.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like Heineke, man. I do. I love him this week. I mean, 7,400. He's put up 20 Fanduel points, 20-some fantasy points. I've started him in our league for the last 2 weeks, man. He's helped me out, except for last week when you beat me by 10 points. But I mean, I'm going to play him in a lot. Atlanta, they're the same. The rush on Atlanta is rough, man. So
can't guard
So I like
Atlanta's defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
In the words of Andrew or Coach Van Meter, they can't guard a chair.
Can't guard a chair.
But yeah, I was going to say Taylor Heineke. I love that play. He's cheap. I mean, he gets you 20 points a game, no matter who they're playing, even better competition. So I expect him to do fairly well. What about Sam Darnold down here playing Dallas? Man?
I was getting ready to ask you guys that. Would you guys throw Sam Darnold in?
I would throw Sam Darnold in Dallas. Yeah. Although Trayvon Diggs looks pretty good every time we see them play.
He does.
Their opposite corner and their safety play is not spectacular. And if their pass rush isn't getting home, I mean, you can expect DJ Moore and, maybe if Robbie Anderson ever comes around, might do something. But I do expect
okay?
Terrace Marshall, all three of those should have a decent game, I feel like, against that secondary. I think Dallas is a kind of overrated team at this point in the season, unfortunately. I don't know if they've really played stellar competition yet to really test that defense. But yeah, I love Sam Darnold this week. I think he's going to have a great game. And they're playing in a dome, which matters.
Yeah, it's going to be high scoring for sure.
All right, boys. I love it so far. BJ, what do you say you let me know your one running back play of the week?
It's got to be Antonio Gibson, man. I mean, like I said, Atlanta. And then, I'll leave it to you guys to pick the Kansas City running back, Miles Sanders. But Antonio Gibson, man, until Atlanta they can't stop the run. Saquon Barkley last week, we all said it. We thought that he was going to have that game, and he did. He ended up being in a winning lineup with his price against Atlanta. They can't, in the words of the great Van Meter, they can't guard a chair, man. So, and last week, Antonio Gibson, I was big on him last week. He didn't do anything. He had that huge catch. I think he really showed the coach, hey, man, you got to incorporate me in the offense. We can get me back into some games. So I think he's going to be in a huge expanded role this week. They're really going to show him out.
He just scares me. He's had a very inefficient season. He's
weird.
12 rush attempts for 31 yards. I mean, that's not even 3 yards a carry. If you take that long run, that long catch out of the game, I mean,
he would score like eight.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, he's back to where he was. Until he gets super involved in that passing game, I think his cap's limited. But if he's going to get right, this Atlanta defense is the one to get right with.
This is the game.
So I will be taking some chances on Antonio Gibson. Andrew, what about you?
I'm going to give you a workhorse running back that gets around 20 touches a game for a fairly good price. That's David Montgomery at 7,500.
Love it.
Division game, suspect defense, the volume's there, workhorse. Yeah, I'm gonna lock and load him in quite a few lineups this week.
Are you scared that the Chicago offensive line is just garbage?
Yeah, that makes me nervous, but the guy still gets the volume. I think I'll take some chances at 7,500 for that.
I do like that. I do like that a lot.
He's so good out of the backfield too, man. I do not know why they really don't just give him it.
He should get some catches too, man. Honestly, he needs catches. And
yeah,
he should get them
more involved.
I'm going to go down just a tad bit, and boys, I think it's the week that Chuba Hubbard really comes onto the scene. You know, we saw an injury in that Carolina backfield. Chuba Hubbard came in, and he looked pretty damn good, honestly, in his first start.
He looked good.
And
I agree.
I already talked about Dallas's. I know their corner, Trayvon Diggs, is good, but, man, their run defense is rough. And Carolina comes in. They want to run the ball to open up the pass. Chuba Hubbard's going to get, 15 to 20 touches. He's already seeing some catches out of the backfield. He had 5 targets for 3 receptions last game, and that's off, 3-quarter workload. A full workload.
He'll be chalk this week, but I would almost guarantee him being in the winning lineup, man. He might be in every lineup I put in.
Too cheap, and the workload's going to be there, and I like that play. There. All right.
Who's his backup? Royce Freeman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, thank you.
All right. Andrew, how about you give me another running back that you're really liking?
I will be throwing, for the price, Derrick Henry in a lot of lineups as well against the New York Jets. Another blowout alert. Was he going to get 30-plus touches probably? Yeah, I think you have to have him this week. I will also be putting some Clyde Edwards in some lineups. He had a good game last week. I think that probably continues. Yeah. I like Jonathan Taylor despite the poor performance for 6,600. I think that's a pretty good price. That's about right. He might be my touchdown of the week. We'll see. But yeah, I think he bounces back. And we already discovered or talked about Chuba. What about Henderson? Is he playing this week?
I think I read something that he is. I think they said he's projected. He's leaning more towards playing than not.
Look at that price, 6,000. If he plays, I'll probably be throwing him in some lineups too. He looked good before the injury.
Limited at practice. That usually means they're good to go. Here's a little caveat of what you said about Derrick Henry. Yes, he's expensive, but have you guys heard the news that Julio and A.J. Brown might not be playing? They're going to lead on Derrick Henry. He might have 35 carries, man.
He's the offense.
He's going to be the offense, and I know I didn't say much on the quarterback, but I like Tannehill a lot this week just because
of run. He's going to use his legs.
And when you get news when your best 2 receivers are out, people are going to fade that. That could be a dark horse play. I know that's the Jets, but, I mean, the Jets can't guard a chair either. They're in that caliber with the Dallas and Vinny Zola.
Might as well stack that and might as well stack that with the defense on Tennessee because that New York Jets line's god awful.
They're horrible.
Yep. But
that is a sneaky play with Ryan Tannehill.
But yes, BJ, is there any running backs that you're going to throw into a couple lineups as well?
Yeah, man. I know this sounds Zach Moss, dude.
I love Zach Moss. I was going to stop taking my damn picks.
All right, I love Zach Moss, man. They're going to have the lead. It's going to probably be a blowout, 30-some. They're just going to rush the ball with him. He's been a hell of a pass-catching back, too, man. I mean, he just looks like he's a stud. I mean, he's it. I mean, he's definitely outtook the work of Singletary. He's great. I'd say another one is right above him, Cordell Patterson, man. You can't – with the targets, I mean, look at him. I've never seen this before, but he's a running back / wide receiver. So this week, you could literally have 4 running backs in your thing with him, So Derrick Henry, Chuba – Zach Moss, Henderson, and you just throw him in the receiver slot. He's a running back. So you can do that. That's big to me. Looking down here, just for a little throw out there is, Myles Gaskin. It really looked like he got a lot more work than last week than he had in the previous couple weeks. So, especially having Brissett in the game, I seen you and Jim last night talking about it and how, the offense looks like it's flowing more. And it does, dude.
It just flows better.
It flows way better. I mean, he looks like his presence in that offense is way better than Tua's. So that could be a play too.
I think the problem with Tua is he will not throw the ball unless you're wide open. He has no anticipation, takes no chances. Jacoby's just going to be out there slinging that around like he doesn't give a shit, and that matters in the NFL. And we saw, Fitzmagic make a killing off that slinging that ball around. They have weapons out there. And
oh my God.
Gosh, if they're moving the ball in the Colts and they're, they have to respect the pass game, Gaskin should have a great game, honestly. Well, guys, I don't really have anybody else to touch on. I like all your guys' picks. A little sneaky pick that I'm kind of liking a lot for his pass catching ability is Chase Edmonds. The reason being, they're playing the Rams. It's one of those games where you don't run the ball against the Rams very well. And
Can't do it.
That opens up the pass. They got the defense on their heels, and they check it down to Chase Edmonds. Look at these targets: 8, 5, 4, 7 catches, 49. This is going to be the week that Chase Edmonds most likely hits the end zone if you just go by the numbers. He's had too much volume not to get there so far. So if you're playing the numbers game, he should find the end zone this week.
I like it.
All right, boys. Moving
Sneaky
on
play.
to your wide receiver play of the week, Mr. BJ. What are you thinking of?
DJ Moore, man, love him. He's gonna get the targets. I mean, last week he had freaking how many targets did he have last week?
12
targets. I mean, he was torching the man. I think he'll probably be covered by what's his name on defense?
Diggs.
Dallas. Yeah, Diggs. He'll be covered, but I mean, he looks so good this year, man. I didn't even think about him before the draft and stuff this year, but I mean, him and Sam Darnold really have a connection, man. I mean, that's his number one guy, so I'm real big on him.
I'm with you, man. That's a great pick. Andy, what's your receiver play of the week?
I am going to be pairing up Josh Allen. I won't give 2 Bills receivers. I'm going to be stacking him with Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders, both of them. Do a double stack. I talked about, I think Josh Allen is going to throw the ball around. They're going to run up the score. This could be the week Stephon Diggs finds the end zone. Breakout game. He's due. I think he's due anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Targets are going to be there. That's my opinion. Those are my 2 plays for wide receiver.
I like it a lot. And I'm going back to the drawing board for that same game, and I'm actually going to go with CeeDee Lamb. I prayed CeeDee Lamb wouldn't kill me in fantasy last week, and he didn't. I was playing against him in 2 leagues. He had to score under 16 points, and he came through. Thank you, fantasy gods. Well, usually when that happens, look for the offense to flow through that guy the following week because they do read their stats. They do talk to the quarterbacks, and they try to get those people involved the following week. So I actually like both receivers from the opposite, CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper next week to have big games as well. 8 points, that's very un-CeeDee Lamb-like. Let's be real.
Wow.
Look at his targets the first 2 games, 15 and 9, then goes all the way down to 3. What can I say, man? I was happy about that, but
I'm rock.
All right. So we covered our receiver plays of the week. Andrew, is there anybody else that you're, throwing in a couple lineups that are pointing you in the right direction?
You guys took 2 that I had wrote down here, CeeDee Lamb and DJ Moore. I'm going to give you a Rams receiver who has been very underwhelming, and you know who that is.
Mr. Robert
Woods, 6,200. Let's be real. Cooper Kupp, he's not going to keep up on that pace. That's just impossible. He's going to break every record in the book. I think he's the most expensive receiver now on the slate. Yeah, I look for that to start slowing down. Teams are going to catch on, and I think it's Robert Woods' time, and I think it starts this week for 6,200. I love Brandon Nyuk as well. He kind of came onto the scene last week. His targets are slowly going to increase, and I look for him to have a kind of a breakout game this week. I also want to mention I love Odell Beckham this week as well. Look for him to find the end zone.
100%.
That's pretty cheap for Odell.
It's very cheap, and he looked very, very good. I'm not going to lie.
He did look really good.
He looked fast, and
looked great.
I am an athletic trainer for you guys that don't know, and I get to work with about 30 ACLs a year. For him to look that fast and that explosive, that quick and just comfortable is a very good sign for his longevity in that knee. BJ, what about you? Any a couple receivers that you're going to be throwing in some lineups too?
Yeah, man. Looking here at the top, I I keep saying it, Tyreek Hill. He is due. Tyreek Hill is due. And this game against Philadelphia is his. I know Slay is probably going to be locked up on.
Can't guard him.
Yeah, he just can't. He's unguardable.
Yeah.
Philly's defense is just trash. Just watching that, Cowboys torch them with the run and everything. They just look so bad. They need so much help. So I really, really, really like Tyreek Hill. I 100% expect him to find the end zone this week. Looking down here, you got Washington's defense is real suspect, man. So Calvin Ridley's on my radar big time this week. Washington's supposed to be one of the top defenses, but, they haven't showed anything. They've been – I think every game they've played have got 20 on their head, I think. So
if they don't get pressure, they're not that great.
No, they're not. And really looking down here, man, real cheap down here. I like Christian Kirk. I don't know what's been going on with I don't know really what's going on with D-Hop, but somebody's ribs. So he hadn't really been doing anything, and it definitely affected him last game because he put up almost a goose egg. So Christian
I think he's injured.
I do too. I really do. And I think Christian Kirk's going to be a guy to step up. Rondell Moore, I was reading, and it's true. His stats are very padded by those long touchdown receptions that he had. So that 75 yards really give you big numbers, across the seam, across the middle, unless he's going to catch a bomb. 75. The 114 yards is one catch, 75 of that. So, and then I got to go. 100% got to go Devonta Adams. Love him this week. Dude balled out last week, and that Pittsburgh defense looks pretty suspect on the passing game, man. So I expect Devonta to find the end zone too.
Yeah, we really haven't touched much on this Green Bay Pittsburgh game, but Devontae's due. Look, 18 targets last game. He is definitely due. That's crazy.
And you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't think he's playing. So you got Devonta Adams. I could see another 20 targets this game, man.
Well, boys, you guys took a lot of the people I like. I'll probably throw Terry McLaurin, stack him with Heineke. I know we talked about that earlier. I want to see what happens with Pittsburgh as far as is Deontay playing, and if he is, I'm going to read the shadow report and see who Jaheir Alexander's guarding. If he's guarding Deontay, I'm taking Claypool, and if he's guarding Claypool, I'm taking Deontay because that other guy should feast.
Yeah, that
honestly,
is true.
with Jaheir Alexander taking one of those guys out, I think Juju's probably not playing. Najee Harris is a sneaky wide receiver too, or a running back too, because he's going to get a lot of catches again. I know we didn't touch on that. But yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I think Cordell Patterson's a sneaky play in the receiver slot. I like that a lot. And yeah, that's about it. You guys touched on everyone I like, honestly.
You guys think I'm crazy for the IU play, or do you agree?
No, I love it. I think he found his stride last game, man.
He had 3 red zone targets. And if you guys got to see my sleeper starts and sleeper sits of the week, Ayuk is a sleeper start for me this week out of my 3 picks.
I liked it too because last game they were really trying to feed him the ball. You could tell they were trying to, hey, let's get you in the action. So they were, all I said, red zone targets.
86% target share. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Sure. BJ, any tight ends that are sticking out to you? Well, just give me your tight end of the week, then we'll kind of circle back.
George Kittle, man. I love George Kittle. If he's healthy, that's my guy. That's who I'll probably play in the most. Okay. He looked very good last week. Didn't get a touchdown, but he still looked good.
Andy?
Tight end play of the week will be I really don't like many tight ends this week, but I do like that Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson seem to be getting their chemistry back.
Mm-hmm.
So I will definitely be throwing him in quite a few lineups.
I like that. And my tight end of the week is Logan Thomas. I really like him a lot against Atlanta, and yeah, he's putting up pretty good numbers for a tight end. Sneaky, cheap little play. Wrap this up before we give our touchdown calls of the week. What defenses we targeting? I'm not going to lie, I haven't really got a chance to look at these defenses yet. Andy, what defense of the week you looking at?
I like that one right there you just highlighted. I like Tennessee against the Jets. I also love the Saints defense against the Giants. And Packers, you can get them for pretty cheap against the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Those are my top 3.
BJ, What about you?
Yeah, it's hard to argue against, man. I really like the Saints, man, against the Giants. They look like they struggle. Another one is the Colts, man. I mean, Miami, the Colts defense it's just sad because they're so good, man. They just don't have that offense to back it up. So I could see a Colts maybe being a play there. And the Browns, man, I don't know what Myles Garrett, what planet he's living on, dude, but he's out of his mind.
He's crazy.
So
he's good.
So I might throw Cleveland in there too. Just the sack upside that they get, and the pressure that they've been putting on quarterbacks is just unreal. I mean, it's either Chicago's offensive line is the worst in the league, or it was Myles Garrett coming in there and teleporting backfield and getting sacks, man.
Literally insane. I think a sneaky defense, kind of an underachieving defense this week's Baltimore Ravens. They played Denver, who is 3-0. The combined record of Denver's opponents is 0-9. So I think they are sneaky, like not as good as people think they are. And I think they could finally, get the what's the word I'm looking for? Finally get exposed a little bit. And
they'll come back down to earth.
They will come back down to earth. But all right, boys, we have 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We're making pretty good time. Let's go ahead and give our touchdown calls of the week, sponsored by Daily Fantasy Perspective. BJ, Mr. BJ.
Who you got, BJ?
Who we taking in our touchdown calls of the week?
Man, I'll tell you right now, I think I'm going to give you a wide receiver and running back like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, man. I'm going to go with my wide receivers. 100% going to be Devonta. Okay. Devonta's going to find the end zone, guaranteed. Running back, man, that's a rough one this week. I might as well just say Chuba Hubbard, man. They're going to feed him the ball. He's going to get a goal line touch, and he's going to score at the goal line. He's going to force it in. They didn't do that with him last week, but he was there a couple times. I don't know why they didn't throw him in there, but
I like that.
He's going to be.
Andrew, who's your touchdown calls of the week?
I'll give you 2, wide receiver and a running back. Running back is Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. Pretty good price tag on him, too. Should be $6,600. There he is. And wide receiver will be Robert Woods.
Ooh.
Sneaky little plays. I don't like to do this, but I think it's automatic touchdown. Derrick Henry, I mean, he's punching that damn ball into the
He's going to score maybe 3 times.
Mm-hmm. And, we talked about this guy a couple times. If I didn't pick Derrick Henry, I also really like Zach Moss. That might be $8 Earl's touchdown of the week. Zach Moss. But
gotta live Moss.
You guys know what we got to do. We all touched base on this. Let's get another running back into a receiver hole, and let's throw Cordell Patterson in there as a touchdown. I really like him this week. The only way you can truly beat Washington is on the outside. The rush is so heavy. They get up the field so fast, they exposes them on the outside. Cordell Patterson game, we're lock and loaded.
Lock him in.
Lock him in. I don't know if you can see our lineup so far. I mean, this smells like $1 million to me. But
looks like it.
QBs, or anybody that you guys think we should throw in there? I know we talked about a lot. We got a little save some money here. So let's go ahead and pick our defense. Sorry, guys. Do you guys want to go? You guys both said the Saints, correct?
Yeah, just rock the Saints.
Rock with the Saints. I
love them. They score touchdowns off their turnovers.
Yeah. We're going to have to go on a cheaper tight end. Do you guys want to go Logan Thomas just because that's the cheapest one I see?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
How much money we got? We only got $6,000 left. We might have to go down on someone, boys.
No, we're going to backtrack here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take out
put in Dawson Knox as tight end.
Dawson Knox.
I like it.
I like him.
And then see if we can go Josh Allen. Probably won't have enough.
What do you think?
Max Williams. That's another one I was trying to look at for Arizona. He's been seeing some targets, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got 6,200 left.
All right.
Does that help?
This is what we'll do. We can't leave. Oh man, we haven't ran into this yet. All our lineups have worked. So let's go here. It's
hard to take Derrick Henry out of that thing. We might have to go a little lower on. Maybe go a little lower on defense. I think we can find something down there.
All right, let's pick our QB first. Who you guys feeling on QB? You want to go Darnold?
Is there? Yeah,
Or
I feel like
Heineke?
Darnold. Yeah, I like Heineke.
I like Heineke.
Yeah, do
And
Heineke.
then throw back Logan Thomas, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that may work. I don't know
We're
if
going
that
to
will
be
work.
cheap, but we're definitely a lot closer to what we were. So we have
I like that. I like that lineup.
3,400 left. Is there anybody that sticks out down here? I don't hate the Seahawks defense against San Francisco.
Defense isn't that important.
What about the
Giants,
Giants
man.
versus the
Yeah.
Saints? They could turn.
I can
turn
see
the
some
ball
interceptions
over.
happening
Yeah.
there.
We're gonna lock
I
that
do
in?
like that.
We'll lock that
Yeah.
in.
Lock that in.
All right, boys.
Looks like a winner.
What all you think right there?
I like that lineup a lot.
What do you think, $8
Like-
Earl? I think we're gonna get out of the negative this week. I love
Heck
it.
yeah.
We're locking and
If
loading this. It's in
Earl's
there.
in, then I'm in.
Earl, thanks, Earl, for your special connection. Quickly touch base. Did you guys do any nightly game tonight? Did you guys put any lineups in?
Oh yeah,
I did.
yeah, I got a couple.
Give me Joe Mixon as the MVP. Yep, I like that.
This is my lineup up there if you guys can see it.
I like Joe Mixon, man. I really like James Robinson. And I like
Auden Tate.
Darnold.
Auden Tate with T. Higgins out. Sign me up. That's cheap.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I went with, and I love that. We have 2 minutes here. Tell me something. Tell me something about this week. Did you all have a good week? What's going on?
Great week, man. Back to work.
Yeah, how's that
COVID
going?
off for COVID. Had a nice little vacation, man. Back to work, dude. Enjoying it.
I need to say this. Happy birthday to my lovely wife, Mare.
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Mia.
27
Yes.
years
Milwaukee
old.
videos.
She probably will never see this, but that's okay. She's been supporting me with this more than I could ever imagine, and I really do appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Andrew, any last words, my friend?
Not too much going on, man. A lot of big college football games this weekend. A lot of ranked teams play each other. You got a big Alabama game going against Lane Kiffin. That's going to be good. Cincinnati against Notre Dame. Hoping for a Bearcats win. That would be really big for Cincinnati.
Yep, and that over-under in that Lane Kiffin-Alabama game is it's 80 points the last time I looked. 80 points
80
over-under
points
together.
Oh, that's the most I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too. Last year, the score was like 63-47. It was insane. But that is going to wrap us up here on the Daily Fantasy Perspective. Drop some comment questions underneath, please. We love that. We will answer them. We hope we help you out. If anytime during this video you think that we helped you, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 75 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. 2.5 months into this. Didn't think it was going to grow this fast. I hope you all have a great night. Tune in to our weekly series, Daily Fantasy Perspective. Peace!
Peace. Go Bengals.
Go Bengals.
Go Browns.